Senator Tillis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Secretary Kennedy, thank you for being here. A couple of times you asked people if they were making a statement or a question. What I think I may do, just to give you a breather, is to make a statement with a lot of questions and just for the record.
Hey everyone, welcome back to True Voice. I'm Andrew, and today we're diving into Senator Thom Tillis' remarks to Secretary Kennedy. Let me just say, this one really exposes the Republican playbook in full display. So let's break it down.
I'd like for you to have the opportunity to have your staff respond. I can't conclude from the discussion today where you are on warp speed. So I would like the definitive statement on exactly where you are. Was it good? Was it bad? Were there things that worked? Were there things that didn't work? I can't discern that from what you said here. I, for one, think that it was a signature accomplishment of President Trump, and the mRNA platform is something.
I agree with that.
I look forward to you giving us a detailed statement on exactly where you are with warp speed. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trial lawyer. I'm a boring management consultant. Another question that we'll submit in the record, I'll give you directionally where we're going. I don't see how you go over 4 weeks from a public health expert with unimpeachable scientific credentials, a longtime champion of MAHA values, caring and compassionate and brilliant microbiologist, and 4 weeks later, fire her because at least the public reports say because she refused to fire people that work for her. So as somebody who advised executives on hiring strategies, number one, I would suggest in the interview, you ask them if they're truthful rather than 4 weeks after we took the time of the U.S. Senate to confirm the person, just for the future nominee that we're going to have to consider. But I do also believe that some of your statements seem to contradict what you said in the prior hearing. You said you're going to empower the scientists at HHS to do their job. I'd just like to see evidence where you've done that, and I'm sure that you will have some. You will do nothing that makes it difficult or discourages people from taking vaccines. There seem to be several reports that would seem to refute that, but I'd rather you just respond to it. I'm not going to come here and impose my belief over any of yours. That, again, seems to be contradictory to the firing of a CDC director, the canceling of mRNA research contracts, firing advisory board members, attempting to stall NIH funding, eliminating funding for the I think $500 million for further mRNA research, and just want an answer for it. On H.R. 1, I believe you know my concerns about H.R. 1. I've had several meetings with, and H.R. 1 is the big, beautiful bill, OB3, whatever the brand is. But I'm still, I've got an office with 60 staff, including half of them in state office. I've had 3 different estimates of the economic impact on the state of North Carolina. Can I get your commitment? And I have been looking for somebody that's far more resourced than an office of 30 people up in here in D.C. to disprove my estimates with respect to the impact on North Carolina, period. And I've yet to have anybody. I would love to be embarrassed and be wrong, but I would like to get your commitment for people to tease through the numbers that I provided before the vote on H.R. 1 that says that if you normalize 3 independent estimates across a broad spectrum, $25 billion over 10 years. I don't need your response now. I want somebody to destroy my estimates, because to this point, the most resourced health agency in the world has only given me word salad responses, and I need that so that we can prepare for the response. $25 billion over 10 years is half of the rural relief fund over 5 years. And so we just need to have that fact as a matter of policy so that we can go in North Carolina and absorb it. And I know every state's different, and I'm assuming every one of my colleagues here have done the math for their states, not focused on that. But I want you to destroy my estimates if they're in fact wrong, and I want you to acknowledge them if in fact they're right. That will come into question as well. Mr. Kennedy, you've stated multiple times in response to other members' questions that scientists were lying. We'll go back to the record in cases where you've said that. I'd just like to see the scientific evidence to substantiate that. I'm going to stipulate that you were honest and you had research behind it. We'll go back and figure out what scientific studies you believe are founded on lies and not scientifically viable. And then finally, I just want to give you an opportunity. Apparently in the exchange with Senator Bennett, you said you agreed with Dr. Levy's statements, who said that the mRNA vaccine caused serious harm, including death, particularly in young people. They said you agreed with that comment. Did you agree with that comment or not?
I think that's true, yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
First off, Tillis starts by praising Operation Warp Speed, calling it a signature accomplishment of Donald Trump. Look, credit where it's due. Warp Speed helped fast-track vaccine development. But here's the thing. Democrats and the Biden administration actually expanded and implemented the vaccination rollout that got shots into millions of arms. The GOP loves to act like they did it all. But when it came to distributing vaccines, Republicans were busy downplaying COVID and turning masks into a political statement. Then Tillis criticizes Secretary Kennedy for allegedly firing scientists or discouraging research. But let's be real, this is classic GOP spin. They take personnel decisions, twist them into conspiracy theories about silencing scientists, and ignore the fact that Democrats have consistently funded science, supported the NIH, and backed mRNA research. Republicans can't suddenly act like the champions of science after years of denying climate change and undermining public health experts. What really gets me, though, is Tillis' obsession with H.R. 1, the big democracy reform bill. He calls it the big beautiful bill sarcastically and claims it would hurt North Carolina economically. Let's be clear, H.R. 1 is about voting rights, ending dark money in politics and making elections fairer. If Republicans are scared of it, it's because fair elections threaten their grip on power. Period. The so-called economic impact argument is just smoke and mirrors to distract from the fact that H.R. 1 gives everyday Americans a stronger voice in our democracy. And then there's the most dangerous part. Tillis pushes Kennedy on mRNA vaccines, bringing up comments that they cause serious harm, even death, especially in young people. And Kennedy agrees. Folks, this is pure disinformation. The scientific consensus is overwhelming. mRNA vaccines are safe, effective, and have saved millions of lives. This kind of rhetoric fuels vaccine hesitancy, prolongs the pandemic, and endangers public health. Republicans claim they're not discouraging vaccines, but agreeing with statements like that does exactly the opposite. Here's what's really happening. The GOP is trying to rewrite history. They want to take credit for the successes of Operation Warp Speed, deny responsibility for their anti-science rhetoric, and use fear-mongering around vaccines and policy bills like H.R. 1 to maintain political control. As Democrats and as patriots, we need to call this out. We believe in empowering scientists, protecting public health, and making democracy more accessible. Republicans like Tillis are more interested in scoring political points than saving lives or protecting voters. So my takeaway? Don't let the spin fool you. Science matters. Democracy matters. And when Republicans try to twist the narrative, we've got to push back with the truth. That's all for today, folks. This is Andrew from True Voice. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep speaking truth to power.